We finally got our countdown. All right, so now we're going to talk about long division of polynomials. Not the funnest thing in the world, but it's not hard. I'm telling you, it's not. I don't care what anyone says. Because here's what we're doing it's this polynomial divided by this one. So it's the same analysis as grade school division, but a little different. All you have to do is concentrate on the lead terms of each step and don't care about anything else. And then I can ask anyone, what times 3x equals 3x cubed? Just like what times 32 equals 35, the answer was 1. What's this answer? What times 3x equals 3x cubed? X squared, and that's why it's here. And then do this. Draw these lines. This is where this is different. This means distribution. I need to distribute that x squared, and then that's where this row comes in. 3x cubed. I don't want to have to do this every time. It actually makes it look horrible. Plus 2x squared. X squared times 2. And then what do? Right here, everyone. Everyone say it. What operation? Grade school says subtract. Do you hear the seventh hour? They actually dominated on the factoring today. Blew away first and second hour. Let's tell them. All right, but how do I subtract the binomial? Pay attention over there. How do I subtract the polynomial? I distribute the minus sign. This is what you have to follow, these steps. This is what was missing. Something happened with my people in tutoring. I want to rip on them and being a tutor. It's great that they're there, but we got to do a better job initially of getting this stuff taken care of. All right, and then go ahead and subtract. These cancel, and then this becomes 3x squared. Now grab a different highlighter. Because now the next thing, just like in grade school division, now I'm at the 38s. What times 32 equals 38? 1. Well, now I focus on this. What times 3x equals 3x squared? What's the answer? What times 3x equals 3x squared? What's the answer? X, 1x. That's why this is sitting up here. It's the next term in what's called the quotient, the answer to this division statement. Hope you're focusing. We always got Jim jacking around with some of us. I look over there, poking each other, looking at each other. Teaching in America. All right, so 3x squared goes here. I'm not overwriting that in green. And then 1x times 2 is 2x. Sorry, I'm struggling on my speaking right now. And then what do, everyone? No, distribute a what, though? A negative. We subtract, which means we distribute a minus sign. Trying to go slow so you can see this so I don't have the same thing I had happen first and second hour. And then destroy that, and then 8x minus 2x is that 6x. And then you bring down the 7. Notice we brought down the 7 to this step, but it's never used because there's, just doesn't have anything going on with it on that previous step. Then the last thing, I guess I'll go green here. What times 3x equals 6x? What times 3x equals 6x? What's the answer? That's why there's a 2 here. And then you take this 2, I'll go with blue lines and distribute. Okay, you might want to do the messy distribution lines just to make sure you're distributing. And then I'm color coding so that you can see 2 times 3x is 6x, 2 times 2 is 4. The grade school subtract. But then the high school distribute that minus sign across a binomial. Okay, that's high school. All right, that's no grade schooler can do this, believe me. All right, and then 7 minus 4 is 3. Okay, we got a remainder of 3. What do we do with that 3? Well, in grade school, I learned I could take that 3 and put it over the divisor. That's what you do here. This is what I caught my people in tutoring. They didn't do this. So that last term is the remainder divided by the divisor. And you do need this plus sign. This you can't just tack it on like it's attached to the 2. It's another term on the outside. Now, I don't know if the other teachers were teaching this, but then their homework said put your answer in fractional form. This is fractional form. That's the final answer, all of that. That's the division statement. That's the quotient, which is an answer to a division statement. So long division. Let's do one more, and then I'll show you step by step from from the beginning. All right. So I'm taking this. If you look at it, divide f of x by d of x. So this is what's going into this. So I lost my pen, I think. So I need my division garage. And this is what this is called the dividend. Nobody cares, but that's what it's called. Hey, by the way, you notice something? 5x cubed minus and then 4x. Something missing?
Right.
Nope. What's missing? An x squared. You be a fool if you don't put this position here. So put a 0x squared, which is nothing, but I want a position there. And then I'm going to show you something called synthetic division. How many people remember synthetic division from last year? Now look around. There's a lot, but then there's a lot that have not done it. All right. So you got to pick that up quick in our last like 10 minutes of notes when we get to that. You're going to love it. It actually is a lot faster, but it can only be done in certain conditions. So all you Math 2 regular students, you've never seen what's called synthetic division. We'll wait on that. Okay, all right. So this is why it's not hard. What do I look at? I only look at the top degrees. What times x squared equals 3x to the fourth? Easy question. What's the answer? 3x squared, and it goes above the square. Hey, good thing I put a position there. That's number one. Why? It creates a mess if you don't. And then what do we do with this? It starts with a D. Nope. Distributes. And that's the only lines I'm drawing. At this point, if you don't know about the distribution, you're severely and totally behind. 3 times -3 is -9, and then x cubed. And then 3x squared times 5 is 15. Oh, good thing I have that position there, so now I have a spot to subtract from. And what did I just say? What do we do next? You distribute a what? Subtraction sign. So you subtract, which means minus, plus, minus. And that's why I changed colors too, so you can see that that's an additional step, that's a new step. And this is the biggest thing that's screwed up, by the way, the distribution of a minus sign. I'm not going to listen. This is hard. No. All right. No, I'm not going to listen to this is a difficult thing. It's not. What it is careful algebra. And this is what we need, I think, as a whole. Like, especially the Math 2 regulars. You need to polish up your algebra skills. All right. Anyway, and that's not a bad thing. Don't think I'm like getting on you. I'm saying this is what needs to be done if we want to succeed. I'm going to leave that. I don't know why that keeps happening. I'm going to leave that yellow x squared. And then what times that yellow x squared equals that blue 4x to the third? What's the answer? 4x. So I just need a 4x up there, and I'm in green. I think, or am I change? Yeah, I'm going to change. I'm going to keep that green. I'm trying to get my color coding. So plus 4x, and then what do we do? It starts with a D. Distribute. Maybe we'll just do it that way, so I don't have to keep doing the lines. So that's 4x cubed. This should be initially. No, I wanted to change the purple. I don't know what I'm doing with my color coding. No, I didn't. Nobody cares about the colors, Mr. Samuelis. All right, 4x cubed. 4x times -3 is -12x squared. 4x times 5 is 20x. But then what do? Here's where I change the colors. Subtract, which is distribute this minus sign. Plus, minus. Then this has to go away. I guess I'm drawing this too large. I'm not even going to do this one because of time. I got to show synthetic division and its power, what it really does for us. I don't know why that's happening. This is -3x squared. Don't get positives. There's more negatives than positives. That's got to be a -3x squared. This is -16x, and then bring down that 6. Okay, we're going to kind of run into this, but that's fine. We can handle it. Because our last thing is, what times x squared equals -3x squared? What's the answer? What times x squared equals -3x squared? And that is a negative, right? Oh yeah, I got that little pointer in the way. Okay, it's -3. Sorry, had to get that out of there. And then this one will go blue. So it's minus 3. Negative 3 times x squared is negative 3x squared. Kind of a mess in here. Negative 3 times negative 3x is 9x. And then negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. So those that say this might be hard, it's just you have to be careful. That's different. You have to keep track of these steps. It's not hard. You just have steps to do. Now we're going to minus, which means distribute this minus sign. That makes this negative and that positive. That's why I color coded, so you see the distribution of the negative. These are now opposites, and then this is negative 25x plus 9. Now, how do I know this is the remainder? The answer to that is this degree is lower than the divisor. So there's nothing I can do at this point. So that's the remainder, and it's a polynomial. That's weird. What do I do with that remainder? I tack it on the end. Plus remainder divided by divisor. So that's a mess. Okay? And that's what fractional form is. So I'm going to circle this and then just put that in this box there. That's where that answer belongs. I wouldn't make you rewrite the answer on a test if we had this. For 50-50, if this will even be on a test like long division, you are definitely going to need to know synthetic division. And we got 10 minutes. We're almost exactly in the same spot as the other classes. Plus we have announcements. So we're going to have to get there. All right? All right. So the next part is synthetic division. Now, you guys, I won't let you be able to write this next part down. I just need you to accept my math. Got it? Okay, are we good? Can I move on? I just saw a lot of people still writing. I know you have to look up, look down, and try to get all this taken care of. So accept this answer. So go to flip to the other page. You can synthetically divide. I don't even know what that is, Mr. Samuelis. But just hold on. If you are dividing by a binomial that has a leading coefficient of 1. Do you see that? That was not the last one. The last one, you had no choice. You had the long divide. All right? But I'll show you the long division. Do you accept my work? Do you accept my work? Do you recognize that that looks like a long division question? Got it. That's the answer. Ready? Now I'm going to show you synthetic division. Here's synthetic division of this question. Now I know this is example 3. Isn't this on the previous page, right? That's this one right here. All right. Well, I just did it here. Accept this answer. Accept my work. But now let's watch synthetic division. And those from last year, you'll know this. Actually, math 3 years, you will know this. There's only one. Okay, here's step 1. This is what I mean about you have to follow directions. So step 1 in synthetic division is what you're dividing by, you find the 0 of that. So you set it equal to 0 and solve. And then here is where you put that number right here. That's a synthetic division bar. Next, take your coefficients of the dividend, that's what you're dividing into, and write them as long as the coefficients are in order, accounting for missing terms. There are none. So you have no choice. You must account for missing, like that one previous, we were missing an x squared. You have no choice. If you don't account for it, you're going to be wrong in synthetic division. Now, this is a 2x to the 4th. Just make a note to self. Remember, this was the x to the 4th thing, but don't put it next to it. You only want to put the coefficients. Now, here's where it comes into play here. Draw a line here, and then this is where you need to really focus. This is actually more important than the long division. You're going to do a lot of synthetically dividing this year. First step is you just bring down the 2. Next step is very similar to long division. We do multiply these two. What's 3 times 2? 6. Here's the difference. You add here. Now, there is a reason for this. No one cares about the reason why synthetic division works. Just know that that's the difference. So put a big fat plus sign there, and then that becomes 1. And then you do it again. You multiply, add. Multiply, put the answer into the next position over, and then add. This is where, okay, to their defense too, I had them first and second hour, and then it was 6B for tutoring. So they just forgot all this stuff. So they get out your notes, let me see what you got, and you need to follow it, and that's what you need to do when you're at home. All right, so 3 times 10 is 30. Wait, how is this even work? What do you mean this works? Watch. 3 times 27 is 20, 40, 60, 7, 14, 21, 81, 82. Now, I didn't have you write this answer, did I? Okay, but now I'm going to make a comparison. All right, and then I had people in the other hour write this, like they wrote the answer at least, but I'm worried about time for us. Look at the comparison of these two, the answer that I long divided and the answer that I synthetically divided. 2, 2, 1, 1, 10, 10, 27, 27. And then the last one I'll just circle. 82 is the what? What is 82 called? The remainder. And now just look at this and accept what just happened. I did synthetic division. I ended up getting the coefficients of the quotient if I long divided it. And that's it. You have to pick this up immediately. But here's the thing you got to understand. This was an x to the fourth. Now this is called a depressed polynomial. You want to know why? Just like Mr. Samuelis, it's been knocked down a degree in life. I've actually been knocked down quite a few degrees, but that's okay. I'm still here, all right? And I'm still trying to smile every day and blah, blah, blah. Isn't that inspirational? Okay. Anyway, plus, 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 and then plus 82 over what I divided by, which is x minus 3. Got it? Okay, so now I don't have time for this, but I can synthetically divide. That's why in your homework, 3, 4, and 5, you should do synthetic division, not long division. I'm not done yet. I am going to do this one just to make sure you understand a couple things. Number one, what am I going to synthetically divide by? Let's see if you remember. It's -1. You get the 0 then plus 1. And then this is why I picked this one. 1 n cubed, 1 n squared. What's next? 0. He is listening. And then -6. That's the n cubed. That's the n squared. That's the n term, which is missing. You have no choice but to do that. Otherwise, synthetic division will be wrong. And then you watch. Drop down. -1 times 1 is -1. Bring it over here. Add. Well, that's easy. Multiply. Add. I almost put a -1 there. 0 times anything is 0, right? And then -1 times 0 is 0. -6. Depressed polynomial. That's the remainder. So how do I write that in fractional form? I literally only have 1n cubed plus the remainder divided by the divisor. That one was, see how fast that is? What do you like better, long division or synthetic? You'd be crazy to say the other one. And then real quick, look at your homework. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. She's about to do announcements. This is number 8 in your homework. Go turn your homework over. Now I'm telling you right now, 3, 4, and 5, you should do through synthetic division because you are dividing by a linear binomial with a leading coefficient of 1. Okay, but number 8, right? Aren't you, didn't they tell you that x plus 4 is a factor of 1x cubed, blah, 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 right? Prove it. If this is a factor, what should I get as a remainder? What do you think? 0 is correct. This guy's on fire today. All right, so here's 1, 9, 6. Let's just shh. Then bring down the 1. Multiply. Add. Multiply. Add. Multiply. Gosh, golly, that is 56, and I do get a remainder of 0. That proves that x minus or x plus 4 is a factor of that polynomial. Now, it says factor completely. This was an x cubed, it's now an x what? Squared. X, constant. What multiplies to negative 14 and adds to 5? This is factorable now. 7, who's negative? 7 or 2? 2. So what synthetic division was able to get me to do was write this in factored form. I initially took out that x plus 4, and then I factored the remaining polynomial. That's how you do 8, 9, and 10. Got it? Now 4 and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, you should be able to read the question and answer it what they have there. 3, 4, and 5, if you want to long divide, go ahead, but those can be, I almost want to say short divide. Synthetic division, short divide. That's a good one. It is shorter, so whatever.